Alright, Algebra 1B students. Welcome to part 1 of our video on lesson 12.6. In this video we will be talking about combinations of things in statistics. It's basically the idea of combining one set of things with another set and seeing how many different ways you can put them together and match them up. Okay? The premise or the basic principle of this section is called the multiplication counting principle, and basically what it says is if there are m ways to do one thing and there are n ways to do a second thing, then in order to find the total ways to do those two things, you multiply the numbers together. So as an example, to help you make sense of this example here says you have 5 shirts and you have 8 pairs of shorts. So if you have 5 shirts to choose from and 8 pairs of shorts to choose from, the number of outfits that you could put together from that, or that you could make from that, is 5 times 8, which is 40 possible outfits. Okay, so in order to figure out how many combinations of things you can have, of something from this group and something from this group, you just multiply the two numbers together. How many shirts you have times how many pairs of shorts you have, that's how many total outfits you could create. Okay, 5 shirts, 8 pairs of shorts, 40 possible combinations. Here's another example for you. This picture shows us escalators in a mall. So the question they're asking us is how many ways are there to get from the first floor, which would be down here, to the third floor, which would be up here. Okay. Now we have to realize that each of these elevators, obviously one's going up, one's going down, so we can't just, we don't get to count these as 2. So to get from the first floor to the second floor, there's this escalator and there's this escalator. That's 2 escalators. 2 escalators, right? To get from the first floor to the second floor, you got to choose one of those 2. To get from the second floor to the third floor, you could choose this escalator, or this escalator. There are 3 of those. So total, there are 6 possible ways that we can get from the first floor to the second floor. I'll see if I can try to list them out for you. You could use this escalator and then this one. That's 1 way. You could use this escalator and then the middle one. That's 2 ways. You could use this escalator and then this one. That would be 3 ways. Or you could use this escalator and then this one. That'd be a 4th way. This escalator and this one would be a 5th way. This escalator and this one would be a 6th way. 6 different ways to do that. Okay? Now, there are also these things called tree diagrams that you can use if you find it more helpful. And those sort of look like a diagram of many lines connecting different options. So if you have a certain starting point, like let's say we start right here on the first floor, we have 2 choices for the first escalator we take, right? We can take the left escalator or we can take the right escalator. Those are our 2 choices. Once we've made that choice, from each of those, we have 3 choices to get to the third floor from the second. Right? We can either take the left escalator, we can take the right escalator, or we can take an escalator in the middle. And the same thing over here. Left, right, or middle. Okay? And now, in order to figure out how many total options, you just look at how many options do you have, or how many words do you have written in the whole last part of your tree diagram total. There are 6 words here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 options. Okay? So here's one for you guys to try, which is not going to be very good to do with a tree diagram because there's too many options, but should be pretty easy to figure this out. A pizza shop offers 8 vegetable toppings and 6 meat toppings. They want to know how many different 2-topping pizzas can you create with 1 meat topping and 1 vegetable topping. So real quick, calculate that out for me. Tell me how many different pizza options there are. Then when you have that, come on back and I'll show you what you should have. Now the multiplication counting principle says if I got 8 ways to do the first choice and 6 ways to do the second choice, I have 48 total ways to make those two choices. So the correct answer is 48 total different pizzas, and I might say that at the end. 48 pizzas. Right? If you have questions about the multiplication counting principle, how it works, what it can do for us, please make a note to ask me in class. Otherwise, that's all I have for you. Have a wonderful night.